This looks like a mess now, but this is actually pretty good stuff. Down the road from here, I have a friend who finishes a few cattle in a small feedlot he's created, and he feeds them hay and he feeds them grain in there, and then of course they go to the bathroom on top of it. So every year he goes in and scrapes off the top down to the topsoil of the organic matter that's been sitting there, and he stockpiles it to the side. So what we have here is some great compost that I'll be incorporating into my garden. Don't forget about the opportunity that local farmers can bring you if you work cooperatively together. This compost is still a little bit clunky, but by the time I till it in, it'll incorporate well into the soil. And because we have naturally tight clay soils around here, this compost will give it a little bit of structure so that the garden will do well, the soil will break up more, and then over time, as we keep adding compost to this and keep working the soil, we'll actually improve the soil conditions instead of making them worse. This is really high quality compost. What we have here is cow manure, the remnants of hay that the cattle didn't eat, and then maybe a little bit of soil that was mixed in there. And then so it's been set to the side, it's cooked, or actually started the decomposition process for a while. It's cooked for a while, and now because it's cooled down some, it's ready to incorporate into our garden. And incorporating this into the garden is pretty simple. Now I have a tractor I'm going to use. You can actually do this by hand, but I'm just going to spread it out in a thin layer over the garden, and then use my tiller attachment to go back and incorporate it into the soil. So you can see here, this soil is really high in clay, and because of that, it's really blocky. It's not ideal. It's not the fine texture you want to be able to plant any kind of seed in. And so right next to it, where we added compost and tilled it in, you can see already we're improving the structure of the soil. So once we've tilled all the compost into the existing soil, we've got a soil that has a nice structure, and now this is ready for planting. And as we use this garden spot to grow crops in, and year after year we continue to add more and more compost to it, this soil will enrich over time, and eventually it'll get the structure that's going to be ideal for planting any kind of crop at any time of the year.